My name's Kate and I'm a buyer on ladies wear and on denim and outerwear at George. Day to day, my responsibilities include a vast amount of different skills, and each day is very different, which is why I love buying. We always start the week looking at trade and looking at what has sold really well and what hasn't worked, and then as a team we decide what actions we're going to take on that. We're very action orientated, and it's really important that we're looking ahead as well as what's sold this week. Apart from that, on a Tuesday we will look at fits, so it's very important that we work closely with our technologists in understanding what the customer needs are of certain products and also ensuring that they're fit for purpose. Obviously that is the most important thing to our customer, is that we are making sure that we are delivering what she expects. The rest of the week is made up of speaking to suppliers, looking at trend information, working on new designs, and also just generally managing the orders that we have on hand. So it's very varied, every week changes, but it's quite very exciting because of that. I took a bit of an unorthodox route and I joined the business when I was 17 and started as a trainee buyer. It wasn't something that I knew that I wanted to do, and I was very fortunate in the fact that the business let me experience a number of different roles before I picked buying to go into. And then ever since then I've just worked my way up the ranks. I was assistant and then I moved to a junior after about 4 or 5 years, and then I was a junior for about 3 years, and then I finally became a buyer last year. So yeah, I've just worked my way up really. Organisation is absolutely key. You have to know where you are with your orders, you have to be organised on a day-to-day basis in terms of your calendar, and also you have to be able to be flexible. That's really important. This business is crazy, especially on women's wear, so you have to really understand what your priorities are and how you organise your day around that. Another key skill is communication. You have to be able to communicate with your peers, with your suppliers, whether they're down the road in London or whether they're across the channel in America or China. Being clear about what you want and what you need is very, very important. It's in a fantastic environment to work in, but it is very difficult. It's very competitive, and the people that stand out are the people who are willing to work hard and have a very good work ethic. That can be anything from having a really positive attitude coming into the day, being excited about what you're doing and feeling passionate. No idea is a bad idea, and if you see something that you think we should be doing, then I would encourage you to bring it to the table. My girls do the same. Every week we have meetings where it's about what have we seen, what do we want to do, is it right for us, and you can't teach that, and that's definitely something that you look for: passion and drive and ambition. It's a combination of a lot of different roles, in my opinion. You get involved in quality, you get involved in negotiation, you get involved in merchandising, visual merchandising, fits. So I guess I had no expectations when I came into the role, because I didn't understand completely what the role was until I've actually done it, and I learn about it every single day. I get involved in things that are to do with marketing, to do with the way things are shipped. Everything's really varied, so it's not what I expected at all. It's a lot broader than what I thought it would be. In terms of travelling with buying, there is a fantastic opportunity to travel within the role, but it's not as glamorous as what everybody thinks. When I first went on my trip, I was a junior. So I've been working within the industry for about 5 years, which is pretty standard really for when you go on trips. You don't just get to go in and go on your first trip within your first year. You have to work your way up to being able to do that. And my first experience was probably nothing like I thought it would be. The reality of how it is very different to what you think. So, you're on the plane at 7 o'clock in the morning, you land, say, in Turkey, for example, after 4 hours, you're straight to the factories. You're sorting out immediately problems that they've got on the production line. trying to find solutions with them, working with them within the cost restraints that you have of a garment. So you're problem solving all of the time, which is exhausting really, especially having just come off a flight. You would then start to do the more exciting part of the trip, which is the development. So looking at all the new fabrics, looking at all the new techniques that they've developed. But again, you need to get done a lot of work within a short period of time. So, you are working until 10, 11 o'clock at night to get back, to then be up at 7 o'clock again in the next morning. That's quite typical of every buying trip that I've been on. More recently, I've been to the Far East to do outerwear, and that was particularly grueling. I loved it. I got to go to Hong Kong, Shanghai, Vietnam, but I didn't actually get to see any of the countries because you're in a car, you go into the factories. I did 9 flights in 10 days. It's crazy, but it's good if you like that sort of thing. But you don't have time to be off shopping, you don't have time to experience really any of the country. You're there in the factories, working with the factories, and we put a lot of emphasis on the fact that a lot of the relationships that we have are with our suppliers, but it's just as important to work with the factories as well. So you really need to understand your factory capabilities, what they can produce and what they can't, and really help with solutions if there are problems. We have a lot of responsibility now to make sure that what we are delivering within the market is ethical, it's fair, we're paying a fair price for it, and the only way that you can understand that is by spending time in the factories. And they might be in the middle of nowhere where you've never heard of them, but actually they are the most important thing. Seeing how you produce 20,000 units of something is absolutely amazing, but you can't do that unless you're in the factories and you're spending time understanding what they can do and what they can't.